Hello, welcome to Tabletop 24, and thank you for joining us for another unboxing. Today we have Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. Now, we have had Unmatched on the channel before, and that's normally a competitive 1v1, 1v1v1, or 2v2, or 1v1v1v1. Whereas this is now bringing this to a cooperative, sort of semi-story driven stance. This has been out a little while, and I've kind of put it off because we are kind of called on Unmatched. I think it's a fantastic set, but just so much has come out for it to try and keep up with everything and actually play it all. But this obviously adds a little bit of a different variety. So we're going to get in and see what you get in the box. And what I must admit is I do like who they choose for their sort of characters in these. It's always really, really good fun seeing who they're going to bring out the latest. Obviously, you've got Tesla in this set. We've got our rulebook, and I always find these rulebooks really, really nice to read. They're very easy to understand and very clear. So always a props to a good rulebook. You always get some nice pictures in it. Hopefully most of the rules are going to be fairly similar. So we've got that there. We've got the core rules, obviously, to understand how Unmatched actually works itself, and then the specific cooperative piece in here. Then we've got the Tales to Amaze set rules. So, yeah, Dr. Jill Trent, Annie Christmas, Nikola Tesla, and the Golden Bat. Well, Golden Bat. So, always a nice bit of variety. We're going to have our normal dials. You can see obviously got Teslas here, but we've got some of the sort of monsters that we're going to be facing: the Ant Queen, Loveland Frog, the Blob, some things that we're probably going to end up hitting into. Annie's dial, some of the bits: Skunk Ape, Jersey Devil, Tarantula, Martian Invader, which is going to be one of the big bads. Mothman's the other big bad. We've got Golden Bat, we've got Charlie, which I'm assuming Charlie is going to come with Annie, and Jill and Daisy there. Then we've got our board, which is slightly bigger than normal, mainly around this cooperative element. So we've got the Mothman board, and we've got our Martian board. So as always, a little bit of variety. I'm going to be fairly sure you're going to be able to use these in competitive arenas as well. Okay, so where to start? We're not gonna go through each of these individually, because if you've seen Unmatched, you're gonna have seen what these are. Obviously, I urge you to check those out directly, because these are our player decks. In our player decks, we're gonna have the different abilities that each of our heroes are gonna be able to use, and they are very thematic towards each of the heroes, and they are quite good. And we've also got nice space underneath for our dials, and any of our extra tokens, and you'll see we've got them for each of the heroes, and you'll always see that the insert's really quite nice for them. Then we've got our plastic sort of chits for our smaller bads and our sidekicks that we'll be picking up with our heroes, so quite useful. And some Mothman tokens and some Martian tokens, they're going to live in there. We've got our pips for our dials. Then we've got our minis for our people, so our characters. So you can see the Golden Bat there, which always comes with these nice washes on. We're going to have Annie here, Dr. Jill, and Nikola down the bottom there with his fantastic inventions. And obviously you will have already spotted the ginormous Mothman, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, the miniatures that come with these sets are really, really nice. They always are, but they've obviously outdone themselves here. And then we've got our Martian spaceship, which here. So it comes with sit on a nice sort of base. So you've got that there, which is quite clever. Nice little variety to how the sets normally work, I think, with something like this. And then finally, what we will look at is some of these cards that we have got down here. So we've got some of our events that we'll come across. So it's things that are just going to absolutely annoy us. So the game's going to be playing against. Obviously, Unmatched itself can be quite a competitive game in that competitive arena. So the AI is going to really have to do, or the automa is going to have to do some work to really go against. So it can be interesting to see how it plays out. We've got our initiative cards, which I'm assuming is how the majority of our cards are going to work. So yeah, so it looks like we're going to be shuffling together and things are going to act in specific orders, which would be quite nice. We've got those down there. Then we've got these promo foil cards, which you may notice were listed on the front of the box. You can see those there. I think these are quite nice foil. We've got one for each of our heroes, and it shows you obviously which cards to be taken out in there, which is just a nice thing to have, I think, for these sets. Obviously, you then do need to take that extra card out because it misbalances the decks, but they quite a nice little thing to have. I know they did a lot of foil cards for their Kickstarter for their storage solution, so I think obviously just adds that little bit more bling to the set for those completionists. Okay, so in here it looks like we've got our specific small minion, our big boss, smaller ones. Yeah, so just going to see what these are going to be doing. I'm going to try and flip through, and we're going to look at the Martians, just because we like the Martians. So you've got an invader, so it's going to be doing some damage, some defense. It's got combat abilities, coming for you during combat. Add +1 to this card's value for each occupied field. Okay, Martian, unspeakable experimentation, heat blast, nullification beam, freeze ray, deception. So it's not, these decks are going to be quite deep for those sort of enemies that we're going to be facing. But I think looking at it, we're going to be facing more than one of those at a time. So it's going to obviously add the complexity. I think without actually getting into playing it yet, if Unmatched is for you, you already know that, and I think this may sort of add an extra layer to where you might be a bit more competitive with it, is getting more people around the table to play it sort of in that co-op stance. If not, it might just be a nice co-op game for you to try out if you like card games. Those nice minis in there always add to it. So thank you for joining us for this unboxing. If you like what we do, give us a like and a subscribe. Check out the other videos on our channel, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.